back to Forever United TV, everybody. I'm here with Jay. We're dissecting the aftermath and what's been said and our conclusions now after the dust has settled to Everton 2, Manchester United 2. And we didn't expect that. Definitely after half-time. Some people have said game of two halves. Some people are trying to decide where this game was drawn for Manchester United. In fact, how we drew this game for United. Jay, welcome back to the channel, mate. Another crazy game for us to dissect. And that is the best way I can describe that game. It was absolutely crazy in the end, after it looked like it was going to be a bit of a cakewalk for the Toffees.
Yeah, certainly, Adam. At half-time, it looked done and dusted. Even the most red-tinted United fan wouldn't have predicted we'd get a point today. I think, as usual, Adam, we go behind, we lie down on our backs, get our tummies tickled, and then 20 minutes left, United think, shit, we better stop playing here, or we lose away. So right now, we are a point behind Everton in 15th, and in legal points at West Ham. That's where we are. And, Adam, we are where we're reserved to be, and that's manifested in the pitch. If only we could play the last 10, 15 minutes today for 90 minutes. And as I said many times, Adam, when will I get a 90-minute performance? Hasn't happened yet, my friend. I haven't seen that in many years.
It hasn't happened yet, Jay. It hasn't. So that's the main question, isn't it? Why? And Bruno Fernandes, the captain, was saying exactly the same thing, mate. Why are Manchester United not getting 90 minutes? What is going on? What is the issue? Why can't it happen, Jay? Why does it take the adversity to kick in for someone then like Bruno Fernandes to actually start playing football again? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. Do these players thrive on misery? You remember the old show on Channel 4, Father Ted, and Mrs. Doyle, the tea lady? She thrived on misery and begrudgery. It seems those players, they start playing at the lowest moment. And Bruno said it there, you said it, I've said it, everyone has said it. So Duncan Ferguson, I'm sure you probably saw it yourself in the warm-up. Those lads didn't look interested in the warm-up. Now, Duncan Ferguson would not be, he'd have been a decent pro. He wouldn't have been a world beater by any such imagination, but he could see.
Scary
he could
one.
see. And you could see Ferdinand standing beside him. Ferdinand went in on it. So you have a decent pro from the 90s and 90s stating that these players, United players, don't look upward in the warm-up. You've been on Trafford, Adam, way more times than I have, and I attest to that. You've seen the warm-ups. I would argue none of them are high intensity enough, and the players are not switched on when the whistle goes. Week in, week out. And that's on Amorim, Adam. I love Amorim. I want him to stay. But if he cannot get these players focused, switched on from the warm-up, then he's got to take some level of responsibility, Adam, also.
Is that down to professionalism of players or Amorim? For me, just what you said there, it just feels like we're waiting till the end of the season right now. Everyone just wants to fast forward. Amorim is talking in forward sense in terms of what he can do in the summer, selling players, bringing players in. Obviously, he would have liked to have come in the summer. All of this conversation has been going on now. When does player pride kick in? When does player professionalism kick in this? Because I see the elements of Amorim and what people are going in on, but surely as a player, you've got to be able to have a word with yourself. And you came into this game at this level. You lived this your whole life building up to these moments. You have to be able to handle it. Otherwise, you are going to get that critique that's coming from the fan base.
I take your point on the professional pride. Now it's become customary that the players have a huddle before a game. So who is micromanaging the huddle? So Adam, it's like this. During the Ferguson era, Josie, even Moyes era, the players didn't need a bloody huddle. So they're huddled up, what's been said in the huddle? And they're still not switched on. So are they now devoid of personal pride, like professional pride, or are they simply devoid of confidence?
Well, that's it. That confidence, the shot. Me and Kaz just had a long debate just walking out then, just coming in, Jay, after the game. And it was on... it was basically about the club being a mess. And these players just look completely and utterly shot. Is it the player? Is it them as a professional? Should they be doing better? Should they be listening to the coach? Should they be taking on a little bit more? Or is it just down to that this football club just destroys careers? And that, I just don't see how we get past it. That's the worrying thing right now. The worry for me is I can't see an end to it. I can't. There are obvious players that need to be out of the door, but there is still going to be some left here waiting around. What happens? What happens to them players? Are they going to be the bad blood that brings these new players down when we do change a few players? This is the concern I've got. Is it going to have the same effect on the newer generation of players coming through?
And that is the $64,000 question. Like, we're not going to sell an entire squad during the summer. That's not going to happen. If we get 10 deals done, 10 deals, 5 in, 5 outs. A lot of the five outs are coming in the contracts anyway, so they're easy ones. So you're Amorim, and based on the soap opera that was closed been for the last 10 years, do you know what? I'm a young coach. I have a legacy built up, my former club. Do I want this club to taint my reputation and my legacy? Do I stay and start the season in August? And you know what? It wouldn't be beyond that man's staff to walk.
I spoke about this the other day.
And if he did, I pat him on the back and I say, listen, well done, well done. And him walking away, Adam, during the summer, would be a testament to your statement.
Yeah, well, but Mike says here with a super chat. Like Mike on the super chat, cheers Mike. Both manager and players are shite. What is it with this United fans or fan base blindly backing managers all of the time? Well, to be honest, I think we have to back a manager when he's got his own players. I think that's the big call, and is always going to be the big call when it comes to what's happened with Ruben Amorim so far. The mistake and all of this issue right now, as we see with the manager and the players, is down to Ineos. We know that. I think what everybody's concern is like that deep lying issue that is within Manchester United, to a point where you've got Matthias de Ligt today, Jay. Matthias de Ligt today looked like he'd forgotten how to play football completely. I mean, there were bad days at the office, and then there were shockers. And today he couldn't pass the ball 5 yards. The nervousness of the man at a professional level who's played at the highest level to come into a game like this and crumble the way he did, alongside Maguire, two very, very experienced players in that back line for Manchester United who have played at the highest level under immense pressure, melted. Why do we have these moments in game where you just know that this is coming? It's like we expect it now, Jay. That's the worrying thing.
Yeah, we do expect it. And as we said, even the most confident fan wouldn't have said today, we got to win. Did it? Captain of Ajax, was he 1920? Then goes to Juve, didn't work out, and then Bayern. He started very, very well, I thought, Adam. Composure, self-assured, led the line, looked like the De Ligt that what you saw in his younger days. So back to the point you made at the very start, does this club ultimately bring out the worst in players, in their psychology and their mentality, and breaking them mentally, so the fact that they cannot perform? That's the question.
It's but this is what me and Kaz were talking about before walking. It's like, where is the problem? Go back to where the problem started. How do you find where the problem started? Is it all solely down to the Sir Alex Ferguson leaving? Is that the problem where it started? We've never been able to catch up. I've always said the expectation levels, where are they? And I don't think this team is good enough to handle the expectation levels of this football club. Now, quality player-wise, they have got qualities. They are good footballers. They should be able to handle it. Most of this squad have got third in the league and won a couple of cups. So they've shown in moments that they can do it. The problem we've got is it's like the continuation of it. At Manchester United and at big clubs, United, I think, are trying to act still like a big football club. And they're looking for that consistency, that winning mentality that I just don't think is in this squad. And my solution to this is, obviously, it can only happen in the summer, but are United brave enough to lose out? Are we going to cling on to the mistakes just to try and cover ourselves and not look embarrassed? This is everything that there is right now at this football club, I think. And again today, we'll get into the players and the game itself, but defensively, shocking. Jay, Andre Onana, appalling. Beyond belief. Do you want to go in on him? First of all, let's start there.
Yeah. I tweeted, he's nothing more than a limp-wristed charlatan. No, Adam, we had a world class goalkeeper in David De Gea. David had his faults and failings. As you and everybody watching is aware, a certain fan challenge drove a narrative that De Gea couldn't distribute. And if De Gea could distribute and if he could play off in the back, we would be fighting for titles. So we get rid of the Golden Glove winning goalkeeper. That was multiple player of the year with the club. Many seasons, especially in the Moyes era, the Moyes season, he kept us from being mid-table. Obviously, he's failed to stop the penalties in the Europa League final under Solskjaer. He lost credibility with a lot of fans, and that's fine. He wasn't a penalty stopper. But the fact remains, we got rid of De Gea too early, and we bought a substandard goalkeeper, and with the 50 million, we're not going to get back a fraction of that if we set him into the summer. So if Amorim is to stay, and if he is to maintain the goodwill that he has built up with the fans that actually back him, if he persists with Onana next season, he will lose the fan base very, very, very fast. So I think the problem starts at the back. You've said it in your shows many times, Adam. You play a decent level in football. You haven't confidence in your goalkeeper. You've got no confidence. Time and time and time again, the soft hands takes the shot, the ball goes back into play, rebound, goal. Today, the Ashley Young probably go in a second, but defenders reacted fast to the first shot. But every single time, it's a weak save. So Amorim has to make the call on the goalkeeper. He's not his signing, he's not his goalkeeper. So I think that's his first problem. We can go on and we want about Hoyland not being up to it and lacking another proper CDM beside Ugarte. We can go on about Dalot not being, let's be fair now, he's gone to shit as well. But it starts with your goalkeeper. He has cost us points time and time and time again. We, last season under Ten Hag, you remember, Onana single-handedly saw us have our worst ever Champions League group stage as a club in our history. All on the fucking goalkeeper, pardon my French. So that's his first problem.
It is.
Sorry, rant over, my friend.
No, it's okay. You carry on, mate. Ruben Amorim, a few quotes from Ruben Amorim himself after the game. If you start the game without the first half and losing 2-0, it's a good point, but we need the 3 points. We need to win the game. The worst part is that we are losing the ball without pressure. We are not doing what we need to do. We were soft. Let's touch on we were soft, Jay, because not one yellow card for Manchester United player today. I thought we were outfought. I thought we were outwitted. I thought we were outplayed by Everton today. They wanted it more from the get-go. And the only thing that undone Everton was I think they went in too early. I think they were surprised by how poor Manchester United were. And I think that it was their undoing in the end. And that, for me, is how United got back in. They just allowed United to get a little bit more territory, and then we had the opportunity. And for once, we took it, and it changed the game instantly. But the words from Ruben Amorim there, we were soft. I think they have to ring true because it looked like men against boys for big spells of that game, Jay.
But Adam, that soft underbelly has predicated sides for the last 10 years, has it not?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've said it so many times. Look, to go away to Goodison Park, the minimum you want for your teammates: A, communicate; B, run; C, close down space. We did none of the three today. Bruno is going back playing almost as a quasi CDM. I thought that Ugarte, I said it in the last show, that he would marshal Bruno on the pitch and tell Bruno where to go. Bruno again today, head of chicken. So gaps before in midfield the whole time as usual. Traore is playing like he's a Champions League level player. He's playing for Everton because Traore is giving so much space. Because our players simply did not run hard enough for long enough. The basis of football, they didn't run. You said it.
Yeah, just on this, like if, for instance, you had Casemiro working as hard as what Bruno Fernandes did, would that have changed the game today? Because Casemiro is ghosting through these games right now. And when I talk about professionalism, not wanting to have a go at a man that has won everything, but the non-existent factor of Casemiro today, I thought went under the radar because Bruno took it upon himself to make things happen, even when he was effing things up, Casemiro might well have not been there in the game today. I thought Casemiro today was a man that just does not look like he wants to be at Manchester United. He was non-existent.
Yeah, Casemiro today was a passenger, and we now clearly know why Amorim hasn't given a look since he started. And you and I discussed previously why he's not playing. Well, I think the last 2 games tells us why he hasn't been playing. He's a passenger. We start a game with 10 men. We're 2-0 down. It's what we deserve. But Adam, he doesn't play Casemiro. Then should he not? But what's his option? What's our bench? Menu?
Well, yeah. Well, this is where the debate comes in with the academy players. Could you have played Sekou Kone next to Manuel Lagarde? Could he have put Eriksen in there? Could he have played Bruno deeper next to Casemiro and pushed Eriksen into the 10 to give us a bit of quality up there and a bit more control? These are all the things that are going to start coming out. While all of a sudden, while everyone is back fit again, well, near enough everyone, is Casemiro playing all of a sudden? Like because we didn't sell him in the January window, he's now getting more game time. It just looks like there's more off the field issues coming into this now, adding to the on the field issues. We have a super chat in here from You Got Raws who says, is it possible to sell 10 in one window? I have Onana, Malacia, Dalot, Shaw, Casemiro, Rashford, Garnacho, Antony, Wheatley and Sancho all being sold on in summer 2025. Now that can happen, and when we say we can't get rid of a full team, Jay, that obviously is there, but do we look at this and say right now, Casemiro back in midfield, he is going to be one of them players that's gone in the summer. So too is Eriksen. There's not many players in that team that Man United fans would keep hold of right now. There's not many that we would actually say are Manchester United quality. I don't even know what Manchester United quality is anymore. That's the problem.
Look, Adam, we can all agree, Casemiro, with respect to the man, his time at the club will run its course in May. And I think had they got decent money for him in January, he would have been gone. But the fact remains, even today, if he had started Eriksen as a 10, would Bruno have had the discipline to stay beside Ugarte and in a pivot? I don't think it's in his game, my friend. I honestly don't believe it's in his game.
No. It's hard to put a finger on it. Like, the blame has to go on Amorim in some parts. The blame has to go on the players in some as well. But again, with people questioning Ruben Amorim on this, I feel it's now got to a stage where we look at Ruben Amorim with these players, and he is still going to go down that free hit road. Like, no one wants to judge him until we get to the summer, until we get to his players coming in. I believe fully in this, and I've been saying this all day. I've been saying this to everybody, that you only get to know what Ruben Amorim is like when you get rid of the players that clearly don't want to play for him. Even if you think the players are good enough, even if you think the players are just cursed by Manchester United, if they're not willing to play for Ruben Amorim, then they're the ones that need to be moved on. And then we can start judging him on the players that are coming in. Because today, Patrick Dorgu, the only player that Ruben Amorim has brought in, Jay, I thought was very, very good. And an old school throwback type of fullback / winger who gets down the byline and crosses the ball. And indeed, Rasmus Højlund almost, and I'll say almost got on the end of one in the first half. And that, I think, is a positive sign as to the recruitment that is to come. These players that are going to fit into what Ruben wants and what he knows characteristic-wise these players have got. Because he talks about it all the time. He talked about Casemiro not having the right characteristics, but he's playing him now. So it's strange, and I can understand why fans are actually going in on Ruben Amorim a little bit. But Patrick Dorgu today, that's the complete difference there. And he's got a player in Casemiro who wants out of the football club, clearly. And you've got one just coming in who is going to listen to the coach. It needs all of the Casemiro-type players out because they're the more senior players that the Dorgus are going to look to. And eventually that bad blood will spread. And then you're going to get players falling apart again. It's like it's already catching up a little bit with Mazraoui and De Ligt now. It's like they came in good and strong, no bad habits, but they're falling into the same trap again. And I just believe that more players with Ruben Amorim and United fleecing this squad, I think we've definitely got a better chance to see what Ruben's made of and we can properly judge him. Because I still feel like a lot of people are going in overly harshly on Ruben. even though he hasn't got his players there yet.
Adam, you read my mind there on Doggy. It was on the tip of my tongue, and you just took it away from me. Just slipped it away. It was like a Ronaldo 5-yard tap in there. So well done.
Claiming
So
that one from a total.
Yeah. So his one and only signing can come in and play his system like that. So does Dogu have this exalted level of football intelligence that the others don't have? Or does Dogu simply buy into the concept and want to play for the manager and not do his own thing? So you have Dogu's equivalent out on the right instead of Dalot. Straight away, mate, your team changes in one fell swoop. Our problem today with Dogu, and we said it last time, late in the game, Garnacho gets it, cuts across the box. Dogu is on the overlap, unmarked again, and Garnacho loses it. Now, Garnacho played well when he came on as sub, but Garnacho, another guy, low football IQ, doesn't spot Dogu in overlap again. That's an easy cross into the box. I don't know if people spotted it.
Well, this is the thing. It gets carried away in the last few minutes because everything is so frenetic, but we were very wasteful in certain positions, I thought. In terms of Garnacho, you just touched on him there, Jay. Is Roy Keane right? Is he a sub player? Is he a bench man? Impact player?
I think, okay, so predicate this on Amorim has the players that he wants. Absolutely, Garnacho is a bench player in an Amorim system, yes.
Yep. Is that happy enough, or is he going to be happy enough with that? I think that's where United then need to make that big decision in the summer. If he's not willing to be a bench player and that's his role, then we do have to sell him and bring somebody else in. But that goes back to what you said then, Jay. Out of everything that was bad in the first half, which was really, really bad, let's not kid ourselves, it was absolutely shocking. Do you think that Dogu stood out in that first half as well as playing okay?
I think Dogu was the aforementioned putting lipstick on a pig, because right now that is what's happening in that side. Dogu gets the system, he gets the manager, he's buying into it. So literally, Dogu is the lipstick on a pig. We need 10 more players of that ilk to play the system. Otherwise, unfortunately, Adam, Amorim is going to lose the fans, and you can see it on social media already. Your fair weather fans are already anti-Amorim, which you're not, and I'm not.
Well, this is like what William says in the chat here. You're in denial, Adam, because you want it to work. Amorim would have been sacked by any other top club right now. No other top club would have brought Ruben Amorim in at this stage of the season through making such an inept decision in pre-season. So no, Ruben Amorim is the right man for United until he has had enough time, like the other managers, to prove what he can do with a team of his players. Every other manager has had that opportunity, barring David Moyes, I would argue. Louis van Gaal got it, Jose Mourinho had it, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had it, Ten Hag had it. They just wasted money. What if we do approach the summer differently and we back a coach that has a certain style of play and only wants to bring in players that are not big name players? He wants to bring in players that fit what he wants to do, because as a coach, it has only ever worked for him, and he goes on about this constantly all the time. It has only ever worked for him when he has a full team together. That's the system that he knows, that's what he believes in, and that's what he needs at Manchester United. And he's not going to stop doing that until they either sack him or we actually start getting it right. And it does actually come to fruition. He is not going to move away from what he believes in, and that is a team playing, not individuals playing. We are individuals everywhere. Bruno is clinging on. With a team in place, I don't think Bruno Fernandes gets into Ruben Amorim's team, because he's not that type of player in his systems that he's had before. He hasn't got that one player that keeps pulling him out. But right now, he literally is holding things together in terms of what he believes in, that Bruno this is, and how confident he plays, even when it's that bad. He still takes that risk, and there's nobody else in that team willing to take risks, Jay. That's the thing.
Adam, back when Ralph Radnick took over from Solskjaer, I referenced that Radnick was the kind of coach, he literally sees players as cogs in a wheel. And would Bruno be prepared to be a cog on a wheel. I don't think that's Bruno's mentality. He has to be the wheel, not the cog. So unless he wants to be literally one cog in a wheel in a system, then are his numbers at the club under Amorim? Begs the question.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see Bruno away. I mean, he works in that machine at Portugal. He is just a cog in a machine at Portugal, and it works really well for him. The UK Strain says, I've seen it before. I've said it before. Garnacho is overrated. Yes, he's got a bit of talent, but not enough to take us forward. Onana awful. Needs moving on, says Boxing Straight Talk. Keep your comments coming in, everybody. Please give the video a like. We're over 100 likes already. I know it has been a tiring, draining day, and I really do appreciate you all still being part of the content, even at this stage of the day. It is it for the rest of the day as well, so you can sit back and relax for the rest and put a film on or something and try and forget about football. That's what it is right now. The players can obviously play the system because look how they played against City and Liverpool and Arsenal in the Cup. Attitude just stinks from most of these players. I don't even think that was his system, James. That was the difference. It was backs to the wall and just playing it a little bit different. It's easy to play against bigger teams because you're not expected to do anything. The expectation level for Manchester United in every other game is to go out and win the game. And he's trying to win the game by putting in this system where the players have to be braver and work harder. And I just don't think they've got it in them. Whether that's a mental block, whether that's just them being destroyed over years of just poor running of football club in Manchester United, or whether they're just not good enough. I think that's where we're at. I mean, Jay, I asked the same question before when we did a calling show on Big Up. In that starting lineup today, who stays for you? Who plays for Ruben Amorim if we're looking to fit them into a system?
Who stays into the starting lineup? Doku, obviously. Mazraoui. Did it? That's pretty much it.
One game's not enough to deter you away from De Ligt.
No, it's one game. You said there about I call it, some guy referenced, we're doing better against the stronger teams. Well, today our possession today was 61.8% versus 38.2% with Everton. So we've more of the ball. It's just that our players do not know what to do with it. And when Obi came on, did anybody see that Obi's making these runs into the box? Is he being ignored, or do our players not have the IQ to find him with a through ball or a simple 5-yard pass?
Are these players being selfish? Are they looking after themselves, like we've said? Like, these players are in survival mode is something that I have used. Like, they don't want to be the one that has made the wrong decision. If they can go and score a goal, they will try and score a goal. I just don't think we are playing as a team. It doesn't look like a team. You said it, and I mentioned it a few times today. Duncan Edwards saying that the warm-up doesn't look right for United. These boys are there. They're there for the taking. Manchester United are there for the taking. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. How are you walking into Goodison Park not expecting to have to put the maximum in and get away with anything from that ground? It is embarrassing that Manchester United players would think that. And why can you not get yourself up to play for Manchester United at any stage? Like, it should be a given. Expect the world to be coming after you. You play for Manchester United. Why can't you handle that? Why can't you get yourself ready for that game thinking that? Ruben Amorim has called you out for being the worst Manchester United team in history. It's your fault that people at Manchester United are losing their job. You have your huddles, you have your team talks, you go out and you just melt. Is it just a complete and utter mental strain on them now being at Manchester United is the question, Jay?
Adam, these players need to realise they are on these multi-million pound year contracts, not because of their own performances or what they've done in the game, because of the legacy and history of the club created over the last 30 years. They're on this money because of the legacy and history. That's why they're on this big money. And they need to accept that. Not because they're more talented than the previous generations. They're far less talented, but they're getting these big, massive payouts because of the history of the club. And they don't respect the history of the club or the fans. And today, Casemiro testified that today.
Yeah, he most certainly did. I mean, when you look at it, when you look at the players that are at Manchester United that are coming through, there is hope with the younger players coming in. Are you one of these people, Jay, that would just say, don't bring these young players in? Well, all of these players that we just described then are playing in the team. Would you wait it out a little bit and just bring them in when the environment is better? Or is it needs must right now? Which way are you at with the younger players?
It's a tough one. The mythical class '92 came into a team full of leaders all over the pitch.
Exactly.
So it was easy for Fergie to blood the Levels, the Butts, Scosey, and the rest of them, and Becks. It was easy because leaders everywhere. You name me, apart from probably Orgade, who I think could be a captain down the line. Apart from him, we don't have any leaders. And a reference there today, Obi on the pitch making these runs. He's either being ignored or lads don't have the cop on to play him a pass. So some fans will go on, play the youth, same the season, yada, yada, yada. If I'm a young player, I do not want to step in that pitch and be thrown to the wolves with the dross around me. I want some player to look up to. Name me one player right now that a young kid playing for the club look up to. Anyone in the chat?
Yeah, well, I'm struggling on
Be
that.
hard-pressed.
Yeah, desperately struggling on that one. 100%. But
So on that, I wouldn't be, bringing on three or four young players off the bench to give them game time and to affect their confidence and the morale, which could do long-term damage to them. I would blood them literally 5-10 minutes here and there, not putting 3 or 4 lads together on the pitch, because I think it'll kill their confidence.
Yeah, so you would wait it out, let these players figure
100%, yes.
Wait it out. Let's get into some of the comments on this as well. Dorgu looks promising, a bit raw yet. Feel sorry for Højlund. He's not great with his back to goal. He needs the ball in front of him or crosses, which with this guy's system rarely happen. No, it actually does. He just hasn't got the players to actually do it. And I'm not feeling sorry for Rasmus Højlund. I'm not. He's a professional footballer who just isn't cutting it. He can't do the basics at the moment. He's got to learn and learn quickly. I would send Rasmus Højlund on loan and see how he does. There was a cross that came in from Dorgu today. I thought was a good cross, and he almost got on the end of it. That's what we want to see more of. That I took more out of that as a positive than anything else today. That's simple, basic football. An interchange with a number 10 going on to the wing back to then cross the ball first time to the number 9 is exactly how Amorim wants this game to be played. That's where Gyökeres scored many of his goals at Sporting. That was brilliant. I got really excited about that, just seeing Dorgu cross that ball first time. Actually, have the nous to stop, feint, then go again and cross it when the first cross wasn't on. So I took a lot of positives from Dorgu today, and I think that's a real optimism for Manchester United going into the summer. Not just Dorgu, but let's not forget, Manchester United have also brought in Diego Leon as well. And anyone else coming in, I think, will have to be the exact type of player we need. That, I think, is something that I think will happen with the transfer window. In terms of the back line, Jay, are we going to need a more athletic defence to play the high line that Ruben Amorim wants?
Yeah, look, it'd be poor for me to go in hard on Harry Maguire again. I've done it enough times. However, that first goal today, playing head tennis, football 101, clear lines, not that hard.
5 headers, mate, in the box.
Yeah. And second goal as well. That was he also compounded the Onana screw up, and he's a player that has been lauded for one key trait: his heading ability. Jay couldn't do it, but he's going to get another year contract. He's got to go. He's got to go in the summer as well. Not going to go hard on De Ligt. He's at maybe 2-3 bad games. Euro, he's a player that's developing. Physically, I think he's got a lot of development to do physically. Maybe when he puts on another 5 kilos of muscle mass, he'll be able to deal with more robust forwards. But for now, he loses physical battles. Mazraoui, man, he was one of our best players at the start of the season. He's gone to shit as well. So I do think we need to sign another centre back. Martinez, would he ever come back from that injury again? He's out till a year? So I think we're looking at buying another centre back. What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see Aiden Heaven come through, the young lad we brought in from Arsenal. We have got some young lads coming in. It's not the priority right now for me, definitely not, in terms of what United need to invest in. We need the goals and we need the goalkeeper. That now, Onana has taken the priority to the goalkeeping department. That's it. I think it's a striker and it's a 9, and then we need to start picking off the other ones, because no matter what Ruben Amorim brings in, if he does not address the goalkeeping issue, his system goes to crap anyway, I feel. So I just look at that as the priority over the centre-backs right now. I think we will invest in a centre-back. I do believe they trust in a couple of the younger lads coming through, and I think Heaven was brought in for a reason. I do believe that he is going to be seen as a first-team player in this side, 100%. UK Strain says, Adam, it's like it's like the bowling. It's the bowling trip and date night hasn't worked out. These players this week. Oh God, yeah. In terms of the powwow and the player bonding night out in the midweek, you knew that would mean absolutely nothing to these players. I knew it straight away. That's going to do nothing. It's another PR stunt, to be honest, for me. Richard Hawkins says, yes, it's all wrong. I honestly think we have one of the most incompetent squads in the Premiership. Incompetent. No confidence, no ability, and poor and disaster football team poorest disaster team in football history of Manchester. That's another comment in there. Anyone else that stood out for you today, Jay, in a positive way? Apart from Agate, Dorgu, is there anything there that you've seen? Was Xerxes any better today for you? I thought he struggled today, Xerxes.
I think Xerxes reverted to his normal settings today. Moyes is also going to say his team up to be physical and win physical battles, and Xerxes all season long lose physical battles, and he's a big guy. He should be winning physical battles. He's not. I'm sure you'll have it in the stats. So I think when we play a team that's anyway physical and robust, Hoyland and Xerxes are almost found wanting. Like a lot's been made of, Xerxes' ability to hold up the ball. Our last show, that was the only positive we could extrapolate from the game. Today he wasn't holding the ball up because he was getting busted over the pitch. And Hoyland, mate, you said send him out on loan. I sell him. I don't think he's the quality up front that we're going to need going forward. So to your question, apart from Doku and Orgade, no. That's it. That's the highlights of today.
No, in terms of the games coming up this week, Jay, we sort of had a little hand in the games today. Well, in terms of the relegation battle anyway, we didn't do too bad today, did we? Because Ipswich ended up losing. But we have got Ipswich next. What do you feel about that game at Old Trafford?
I'd rather we're playing them away. Old Trafford seems to be a capitulation central for us. Obviously, you're going to be at the game. Ipswich are on 17 points. They're 5 points off Wolves at the moment. Look, I'm not confident of us being anybody at the moment, Adam. We could stutter and stammer to a 1-0, or Ipswich nick a score to straw. I'm not confident. I don't know who we play, Adam.
Yeah. The only confidence I've got is we're 13 points clear of the relegation zone, and there's no way that there's enough quality in that relegation zone to drag us into the fight. Definitely not. If we lose to Ipswich, I think it'll be an embarrassment. The gap will only be 10 points. But again, I think we've actually done enough to not go down already. But Wolves closed the gap today. They got a good win away at Bournemouth. Excellent win, in fact, for them. So they're now up onto 22 points, which puts them 8 behind Manchester United. West Ham have gone level on points with us with a miraculous win against Arsenal away from home. So if we did lose that game today and didn't get that goal, Manchester United would now be 16th in the league. But we're not. We have held on to our 15th spots. I think looking at the fixtures and everything that's happened, we've got away with it for this season, Jay. I think that is where we're actually at. But 30 points on the board right now for Manchester United. We've only scored 30 goals. It is poor. It's the 4th worst in the league. We've only got 8 wins. It is going to be our worst ever Premier League season without a doubt.
Adam,
And
let's sorry, I've got a question, my friend.
go
My
for it.
apologies. We only got away with a point today because Ashley Young's diving has not improved in the last 10 years. That's the only reason we got a point
We
today.
forgot
Let's
about
call
the
it.
VAR. And do you know what?
Yeah.
I said it at the time, madly as well. The guy that tried to screw us in the Arsenal game. I cannot believe that them refs went across to the screen and changed their mind on that one. I thought that was stonewall going off how the rules are these days, but I was pleasantly surprised.
I think the angle that they used was fortuitous because I think had Young dived for the first contact with DeLitt, I think it would have been a stonewall penalty. But the little tap on the hip from Maguire was kind of, well, he made a meal of it. So his diving has not improved after all these years. And you remember, I think Fergie actually back in the day, way back in the day, called him out about his diving.
I might have, actually.
Yeah, I think he did.
He was a master at it, Ashley Young. He definitely knows how to win a foul anyway, that guy.
Well,
he should have been sent off.
He's regressed. He's regressed in his diving ability, that's for sure.
He should have been sent off, mate. Simple as. Second yellow card for diving. So
True.
I don't understand why he stayed on the pitch. I really don't. Listen, Jay, that is us all finished, buddy. That is one Saturday navigated without complete disaster. Let's say that.
Saturday navigated without us getting a nuclear reaction, to an away loss to Everton. Imagine that, and 15th in the Premiership. That is where we sit, my friend. That's reality.
It is. It's a horrible reality. Get your comments in below again, everybody, once we're finished. That is the content done for today. With all of the football going on, we are doing everything a little bit earlier today. So, yeah, enjoy your evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being part of everything that has gone on today. Actually, we do need to just announce the 2 members that have won tickets to the Football Prizes prize. I'll bring that up now just so you can see. It's just going to cover Jay up. And there we go. Actually, let's just make that a little bit more. Let's get that a little bit smaller so I can actually still see myself in there as well. But yeah, there it is. Look at that. Paul Scholes signed frame shirts. Get your tickets now. Link is in the live chat, everybody. Only 39p. So you might as well go for it for 39p. But we had a member that donated a £20 donation on a super chat the other day. And we've been picking out 2 members from the chat to take tickets, so £10 worth each for you guys. So that is coming your way. And the winners of that were bomb. I don't even know if they're in the chat right now. One of them was Jeffrey from earlier on today that got picked out. And I'm not sure if the other one is actually in here as well. And that was... who was it now? I've written it down here actually somewhere. It wasn't Jonathan. I've actually lost my actual finger. I've lost it. Oh, for God's sake, where is it? Sorry, everybody. I did have both written down, and I did take a screenshot of them. It was Anthony. Anthony Wisdom was the other one from the members club. I'm not even sure if Anthony's in the chat right now, but yeah, they are the ones. It was Jeffrey and Anthony. I'll just write that down because the draw is in a couple of days, guys. So I'll keep you posted on this. So Anthony and Jeffrey, 2 winners today for the prize tickets to be in with the chance to win that signed Paul Scholes shirt. Also, them tickets do cover the chance to win a signed Wayne Rooney, Michael Carrick, Patrice Evra, Dimitar Berbatov and Gerard Piqué shirt as well. So congratulations to you two as well on that one. Courtesy of the Honest Tiger, the other member who donated that money to us. Look at them names there, Jay. Rooney, Carrick, Evra, Berbatov, Piqué and Scholes.
Imagine that.
Scary.
That's Piqué, the best defender we never had.
He had a little cameo, didn't he? I remember it. I remember the cameo. But that is it, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I will be back at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning with your roundup on FUTV. Then the paper round over on Football Talks as well. But for now, yeah, I think I'm going to go and get myself a drink and try and calm down from what was a pretty mental day. Jay, legend as always. Cheers for coming on, mate.
Pleasure as always. Chat Wednesday.
See you later.